Hall of Fame changes their, the Coaches Hall of Fame. That, if you don't know, of course, you had to have 600 winning percentage, which was kind of just a number for a long time. I don't actually remember when they officially changed that. I was a voter for a little while there, and it's fascinating because you had to have a certain winning percentage, which is 600. Now it's down to 595. And according to College Football Reference, I just pulled this up, their winning percentage, and I sent you the screen grab. The expansion to 595 would only include like 7 or 8 extra coaches. And I'm going, all right, well, who's this going to help outside of the great and distinguished and amazing and important Mike Leach, who clearly belongs in the Hall of Fame?
Mm-hmm.
Branch Bocock won 596. I don't know who he coached for. DC Walker, Red Drew, Joseph Restick. Old Joseph Restick went 59 and 39. And then you have Jackie Sherrill, Todd Graham, and Rich Rodriguez. And I want to know, Stephen, who do you think this working committee and inside the Hall of Fame decided to expand this to 595, obviously to include Mike Leach, which I have no problem with.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that they looked at this and thought, oh, we could put Rich Rod in too? This is a good idea. Like, who was the piggyback? Who was the piggyback that pushed the committee over the edge to say, yes, we should do this?
I think Rich Rod might want to retire before this year's West Virginia team goes like 3-9 or 4-8, and he's ineligible for the Hall of Fame. It's obviously a play to get Mike Leach in, which I'm totally fine with. So kudos to them for making the decision. However, I have a major problem still with this. A lot of these coaches, their win percentage, one guy that gets brought up a lot is Howard Schnellenberger. He coached at obviously Louisville, Miami, wasn't exactly, it took some time to get those programs off the ground. What he did getting FAU off the ground, like just general impact on the sport. It's hard to measure that and quantify that in win percentage. So I think there's still some tweaking that needs to be made there. It feels like we could just vote these coaches in, much like they do for the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Where did Joseph Restick coach?
I don't know. I was looking up the branch. Was it the
Bocock?
first one? Yeah, because he coached at what?
Well traveled.
Yeah,
well traveled.
So Restick was a Harvard guy.
Yeah, see what you're looking at, you cheater. Red Drew was Alabama. DC Walker coached for over 10 years at Wake Forest. And Branch Bocock was Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia Tech, and William and Mary. Todd Graham, where did why am I drawing a total blank on where Todd Graham, didn't Todd Graham get fired from someplace without coaching there? Why am I drawing a blank on that?
I think you're thinking of Michael Haywood.
That's who I'm thinking.
For a few days, then he got fired, and
That's right.
Todd Graham was the one
took over. That's right.
Yeah. And then of course he got fired at Hawaii after 2 years. So,
and a totally shocking turn of events.
Yeah, right.
I mean, Jackie Sherrill won 179 games. Wow. Okay, I knew he won a lot of games. What's interesting is if you keep going down the list, like Jeff Munkins at 590 needs another good season. You get another good season, you're up over 595, big guy. PJ Flex at 591 winning percentage. Paul Johnson at 590. Tom O'Brien at 590. A lot of pretty good coaches at 590, and some Ed Orgerons as well.
By the way, the Michael Haywood era at Pitt lasted less than 16 days, around roughly 16 days. So
a fortnight.
Yeah, he obviously had a felony arrest on December 31st, 2010 in South Bend of all places. So
that's right. Yeah, well, it's not Jackson Hole.
Do you have a favorite moment from the Michael Haywood era there?
No,
at Pitt?
No, I thought it was the Todd Graham era.
High octane football, as he promised the folks
exactly
at Pitt.
Right. That's exactly right. All right. So, quick question: there's 3 guys up for Hall of Fame, and I find these 3 names to be utterly fascinating. And it does speak to how we talk and evaluate coaches, which is that Larry Coker, Chris Peterson, and Gary Patterson are all up for Hall of Fame status. I don't think Larry Coker is a Hall of Fame coach. I think Chris Peterson is absolutely a Hall of Fame coach. And I don't know about Gary Patterson. I think he probably is. I think because of the longevity and the length of time that he found so much success and elevated a program, I think he probably belongs in the Hall of Fame. What about Larry Coker? Where are you at on those 3?
I would probably not put Larry Coker in the Hall of Fame. Obviously took over a program that was pretty loaded at Miami. He did some good work at UTSA, getting that program off the ground, but I don't think like just in comparison to Patterson and Peterson. I mean, I think Gary Patterson's a no-brainer, just like Chris Peterson. So I think those two
Yeah.
easily, and I would not vote Larry Coker though.
I think that's where I'm at. I would say yes, yes, and then not to Larry Coker.
Mhm.
Butch Davis did a good job.
Yeah.
And then just handed the keys over to old Larry.